Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever found yourself in a season of waiting? A time where nothing seems to go right and every step forward feels like two steps back? Let me tell you something right now, it's not by accident. Those silent seasons, those hard, lonely nights, they're not meant to break you. They're meant to build you. Seasons of silence are often the foundation of greatness. This truth may not feel comfortable when you're living through it, but it's in those quiet, still moments that the most profound transformation takes place. Silence has a way of stripping away distractions, forcing us to confront our true selves, and laying the groundwork for the greatness we're destined to step into. Think about the world we live in. It's noisy, fast-paced, and constantly demanding our attention. We've been conditioned to associate movement with progress and busyness with productivity. But in God's timing, silence is not stagnation, it's preparation. Those moments when the phone stops ringing, the opportunities seem to dry up, and the world seems to forget you, they're not a punishment, they're a gift. Silence allows you to hear what you wouldn't notice amid the noise. It forces you to turn inward and examine the state of your heart, your mind, and your soul. In the stillness, you start to see things differently. You begin to understand your weaknesses, your blind spots, and the areas of your life that need refining. These realizations don't come easily. They come with discomfort, with moments of frustration, and with the temptation to quit. But those very feelings are the tools of transformation. Greatness isn't built on comfort, it's forged through challenge. In silence, the ego is silenced too. When no one is clapping for you, when the applause fades, and when the spotlight dims, you're left with nothing but your character. Who are you when there's no audience? What drives you when there's no external validation? Those questions, as hard as they may be to face, are the foundation of your greatness. You can't build something lasting on a shaky foundation, and silence is where God strengthens what's underneath. If you study the lives of those who've achieved extraordinary things, you'll often find a period in their journey where everything seemed quiet. These were not wasted seasons, they were seasons of preparation. The seeds of their future success were planted in the soil of silence. A farmer doesn't expect a harvest the day after planting. There's a period where the seeds are buried in darkness, seemingly doing nothing, but beneath the surface there's growth, transformation, and life. The same is true for you. Silence can also be the space where clarity is born. When we're running on adrenaline, moving from one thing to the next, we can lose sight of the bigger picture. Silence helps us recalibrate. It gives us the chance to ask, am I heading in the right direction? Is this truly the path meant for me? Sometimes the silence is the very answer we need, because it forces us to stop, listen, and realign ourselves with the purpose we were created for. One of the greatest misconceptions about silence is that it's a sign of failure. On the contrary, silence is often the precursor to a breakthrough. Just as a bow must be drawn back before it launches an arrow forward, your season of silence is the pullback that prepares you to soar. It's not about inactivity, it's about intentionality. It's God saying, wait, not yet, I have something greater for you, but you need to be ready to carry it. And let's not forget, silence is where the battles within us are fought and won. It's where we wrestle with self-doubt, insecurity, and fear. It's where we confront the lies we've believed about ourselves and replace them with truth. It's where we learn to trust God's timing even when we can't see the full picture. In silence, you don't just grow, you become unshakable. So if you find yourself in a season of silence, don't rush through it. Don't despise it. Embrace it for what it is, a foundation. It's preparing you for what's ahead, building your strength, your resilience, and your character. When the time comes for your breakthrough, you'll look back on this season and realize it wasn't a pause. It was the foundation of your greatness. The breaking point comes right before the breakthrough. It's a phrase that sounds simple, but living through it is anything but easy. It's that moment where the weight feels unbearable, the struggle seems endless, and giving up feels like the most logical option. But it's also the moment when everything is about to change. This is the paradox of transformation. The darkest hour is right before dawn. The fiercest storm often precedes the calm, And the breaking point is the threshold of a breakthrough. When you're at your breaking point, you might feel like you've been stretched too far, like life has pushed you to the edge. The pressure feels overwhelming, the setbacks pile up, and you begin to wonder if it's worth it. But here's what you need to understand: greatness isn't born in comfort. It's born in the fire. Diamonds don't come from ease, they come from extreme pressure. Steel isn't forged in lukewarm water, it's forged in flames. The breaking point is not a sign that you failed. It's a sign that you're being prepared for something greater. In those moments when you feel like you can't take another step, that's when you discover who you truly are. Adversity has a way of revealing the depths of your character. It forces you to dig deeper than you ever thought possible. It strips away the distractions, the excuses, and the surface-level motivations. What's left is raw, unfiltered truth. And in that truth, you find strength you didn't know you had. The breaking point is where growth happens. It's where you shed the old version of yourself to make room for the new. It's painful because transformation always is. You can't cling to who you were and become who you're meant to be at the same time. The breaking point is the process of letting go, of being refined, of being molded into something stronger, wiser, and more resilient. It feels like destruction, but it's actually creation. Think of a seed. When it's planted in the ground, it's buried in darkness. It seems as though nothing is happening, but before it can sprout, the seed must break open. That breaking is not the end of the seed, it's the beginning of its new life. The same is true for you. Your breaking point is not your ending, it's your beginning. It's the moment where the old is stripped away to make way for the new. Many people give up right before their breakthrough because they mistake the breaking point for failure. They see the struggle and think it's a sign to stop. But the truth is, the closer you are to your breakthrough, the harder the battle becomes. It's almost as if life tests you one last time, asking, how badly do you want it? Are you willing to endure? The breaking point is not there to defeat you, it's there to refine you. When you push through the breaking point, something incredible happens. You emerge on the other side stronger, more focused, and more capable than you were before. The challenges you face give you wisdom, the pain you've endured gives you empathy, and the persistence you've shown gives you confidence. The breakthrough isn't just about achieving your goal. It's about becoming the person who is ready to receive it. Every great story has a moment of struggle, a point where the protagonist faces seemingly insurmountable odds. That's the breaking point. It's what makes the victory so powerful. It's what gives the story its meaning. Your story is no different. The breaking point is not the end of your journey, it's the turning point. So if you're standing on the edge, if you're at that place where everything feels like it's falling apart, hold on, don't quit now. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. The pressure you feel is not there to destroy you, it's there to push you into your purpose. Keep going. The breaking point comes right before the breakthrough, and when it comes, you'll realize every moment of struggle was worth it. Isolation is preparation, not punishment. It's a concept that can feel foreign when you're in the midst of it because isolation often feels heavy, lonely, and confusing. When you're isolated, it's easy to believe that life has forgotten you or that you're being left behind. But what if that solitude is not a sign of abandonment but an invitation to transformation? What if the very thing that feels like a punishment is, in fact, the preparation you need for the next phase of your journey? Think about it, the greatest changes in life rarely happen in the middle of a crowd. Growth doesn't come from the applause of others or the noise of external validation. Growth happens in the quiet, in the stillness, and yes, in the isolation. It's in those moments when the world seems to have gone silent that you can finally hear what really matters. You can hear your own thoughts, your fears, your desires, and most importantly, you can hear God's voice guiding you. Isolation removes the distractions. It forces you to face the parts of yourself you might otherwise avoid. When you're surrounded by people, it's easy to mask your insecurities, hide your weaknesses, or run from the truth. But in isolation, there's nowhere to hide. You're left with yourself, And that's where the real work begins. It's not an easy process, but it's a necessary one. Because before you can step into the greatness that's waiting for you, you have to become the person who's ready to carry it. This is why isolation feels so uncomfortable. It's a refining process. It's like gold being purified in fire. The impurities have to be burned away before the gold can shine. In the same way, isolation burns away the distractions, the doubts, and the fears that hold you back. It's a season of preparation, of sharpening, of becoming. Consider some of the most extraordinary figures in history. Before they stepped into their greatness, they experienced seasons of isolation. Moses spent years in the desert before leading his people. Joseph was left in prison before rising to power. Even Jesus spent 40 days alone in the wilderness before beginning his ministry. These moments of solitude weren't punishments, they were preparations. They were times of learning, of strengthening, and of aligning with their purpose. Isolation is also where clarity is found. In the busyness of life, it's easy to lose sight of your direction, your goals, and your purpose. But in isolation, the noise fades and the vision becomes clear. It's in those quiet moments that you begin to see the bigger picture. You start to understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, and why certain things didn't work out. Isolation gives you the space to realign with your true purpose and to prepare for what's next. But let's be honest, preparation doesn't always feel like progress. When you're in the middle of isolation, it can feel like nothing is happening. It can feel like you're stuck. But just because you can't see the growth doesn't mean it's not there. Think about a seed planted in the ground. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. The seed is buried in darkness, isolated from the world. But beneath the surface, it's growing roots, building strength, and preparing to break through the soil. That's what isolation does for you. And let's not forget, isolation builds resilience. It teaches you to rely not on the approval or support of others, but on your own strength and on God's guidance. It's in those moments of solitude that you discover how strong you really are. You learn to stand on your own, to trust the process, and to have faith that what's meant for you will come in its time. So if you're in a season of isolation, don't despair. Don't see it as a punishment. See it for what it is, a time of preparation. This is where you're being shaped, strengthened, and refined for the next chapter of your life. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Because when the time comes, you'll emerge from that season not just ready, but unstoppable. Isolation is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of something greater. Your struggles refine you for your purpose. It's a truth that is often hard to accept in the moment, but it becomes clearer with time. Struggles are not random occurrences or meaningless hardships. They are the tools life uses to mold you, shape you, and prepare you for the purpose you were created to fulfill. Every challenge, every setback, and every trial is part of a greater plan, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Struggles are like fire to metal, they refine you. When a blacksmith wants to create a sword, they don't start with something perfect. They begin with a piece of raw metal, something rough and unpolished. The blacksmith heats it, hammers it, bends it, and sometimes breaks it. It's not an easy process for the metal, but it's the only way to make it strong enough to fulfill its purpose. In the same way, life's struggles are the fires that refine you, the hammers that shape you, and the challenges that strengthen you. When you're in the middle of a struggle, it's easy to feel like it's all for nothing. The weight of the problem can feel overwhelming, and you might start to question why it's happening to you. But struggle has a way of revealing your strength. You don't truly know how resilient, capable, and determined you are until you've been tested. Struggles force you to tap into a deeper well of courage and perseverance than you knew existed. They stretch you in ways that comfort never could. Struggles also teach you. They are some of life's greatest teachers, showing you lessons you might not have learned otherwise. They teach patience when things don't go your way, humility when life brings you to your knees, and gratitude when you realize how much you've overcome. These lessons aren't easy to learn, but they are essential for growth. The person you are after the struggle is wiser, stronger, and more prepared for the road ahead. Purpose is not something handed to you, it's something you grow into. And struggles are what prepare you for it. They build the character you need to carry the weight of your purpose. They shape the perspective you need to appreciate the journey. They develop the empathy you need to connect with others. Without struggle, you might not be ready for the opportunities and responsibilities that come with your purpose. Consider anyone who has achieved something meaningful. Their stories are rarely free of hardship. In fact, it's often the struggles they face that equip them to succeed. Their purpose was born out of their pain. The struggles they endured gave them the strength to stand, the wisdom to navigate challenges, and the resilience to keep going when things got tough. It wasn't the easy days that defined them, it was the hard ones. Struggles also help you clarify what matters. When life tests you, it strips away the superficial and reveals what's truly important. You start to see the difference between what's essential and what's not. Struggles bring focus and clarity, aligning you with what really matters and what aligns with your purpose. And perhaps most importantly, struggles connect you to others. Your struggles create a bridge of understanding between you and the people who will cross your path. Your story, your trials, and your triumphs become a source of inspiration and encouragement to those who are going through their own challenges. Your struggles are not just for you, they are for the people you are meant to help guide and inspire. So when you face struggles, don't see them as setbacks. See them as setups. Understand that every difficulty you face is preparing you for something greater. The pain you feel today is the strength you'll draw on tomorrow. The obstacles you overcome now are the stepping stones to your purpose. Your struggles are not in vain, they are refining you, shaping you, and preparing you for the extraordinary life you were meant to live. Doors close to redirect you, not reject you. It's a perspective that takes time to embrace, especially in the face of disappointment. When a door closes, whether it's an opportunity, a relationship, or a dream, it can feel personal. You might ask yourself, why wasn't I good enough? What did I do wrong? Why didn't this work out the way I hoped? But rejection is not the end of the story. Often it's a divine redirection, nudging you towards something better, something more aligned with your purpose. When a door closes, it's tempting to dwell on what could have been. You replay the scenario over and over, trying to understand what went wrong. But sometimes it's not about what you did wrong, it's about what wasn't right for you. A closed door is often a form of protection. It's as if life is saying, this is not your path. This is not where you're meant to be. Trust me, I have something better for you. It can be hard to see in the moment, but closed doors often lead to greater opportunities down the road. Think of it this way: when you're traveling and encounter a roadblock, it's not the end of your journey, it's a detour. The roadblock redirects you to another path, one that may be longer or more challenging, but ultimately leads you to your destination. The same is true for life's closed doors. They redirect you to the path you're meant to take, the one that aligns with your purpose and your potential. Closed doors also teach you resilience. They force you to look beyond your immediate disappointment and dig deeper. They challenge you to reevaluate your goals, your approach, and your mindset. In that process, you grow stronger. You learn to trust the journey even when it doesn't make sense. You develop the perseverance to keep moving forward even when the way isn't clear. These are qualities you need to succeed, and sometimes it's the closed doors that help you cultivate them. Life has a way of working things out in ways we can't always understand. What looks like rejection today may turn out to be a blessing tomorrow. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go as planned. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, the relationship you hoped for, or the opportunity you dreamed of. But looking back, you can see how those closed doors led you to something better. You can see how they shaped you, prepared you, and guided you toward the path you were meant to walk. Closed doors also force you to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in a higher power that knows what's best for you. It's not easy to let go of what you wanted, especially when it felt so right. But sometimes what you think is right for you is not what's best for you. A closed door is a reminder that there's a bigger picture, a plan that's unfolding in ways you can't yet see. Redirection is not rejection. It's a course correction. It's life's way of steering you toward your purpose. even when you can't see the destination. It's about alignment, aligning your actions, your goals, and your life with the purpose you were created for. When a door closes, it's not an end, it's a new beginning. It's an opportunity to pivot, to explore new possibilities, and to discover paths you might never have considered. So when a door closes, don't see it as a failure. See it as a redirection. Trust that it's leading you to something greater, something more fulfilling. Trust that the closed door is not a punishment, but a preparation. Life is not rejecting you, it's redirecting you to where you're truly meant to be. And when you reach that destination, you'll look back and realize that every closed door was a necessary step on the journey to your purpose. Faith is tested to strengthen your resolve for what's ahead. It's a truth that often becomes clear only after you've endured the trial. In the moment, tests of faith can feel like burdens, like mountains too steep to climb or valleys too deep to cross. But these challenges are not designed to break you, they are meant to build you. They are opportunities to grow, to refine your character, and to prepare you for what lies ahead. Faith that goes untested is like a muscle that never gets exercised. It cannot grow, and it cannot sustain you when the real challenges arise. Life has a way of presenting trials that shake you to your core. These tests come in many forms: a sudden loss, a betrayal, a season of waiting, or an unexpected obstacle that throws your plans into disarray. In these moments, you might feel abandoned or question why things are happening to you. But the truth is, every test of faith serves a purpose. It's not about punishing you for something you've done or haven't done, it's about preparing you for what's coming. The tests are not the destination, they're the preparation for the journey ahead. When your faith is tested, it forces you to confront what you truly believe. It strips away the superficial and reveals the foundation of your trust. Do you believe only when things are easy, or do you hold on when the storm rages? Tests of faith challenge you to dig deeper, to hold on to hope even when there's no evidence of a solution. They teach you to trust in what you cannot see, to believe in what's promised even when it feels far away. This kind of faith is not blind, it's resilient. It's the faith that carries you through life's uncertainties and equips you to face the challenges of tomorrow. Tests of faith also build perseverance. They teach you to keep going even when the road gets tough. When you face trials, you learn how to endure, how to press on despite the setbacks, and how to remain steadfast in your purpose. This perseverance is essential for what lies ahead because the journey to fulfilling your purpose is rarely smooth. There will be obstacles, delays, and detours, and it's your faith tested and strengthened that will carry you through those moments. These tests are also opportunities to grow closer to God, to rely on His strength rather than your own. In the trials, you're reminded that you don't have to have all the answers and you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Faith is not about controlling the outcome, it's about trusting the process. It's about surrendering your fears and doubts and believing that even in the hardest moments, there is a plan, and you are not alone. Tests of faith are invitations to deepen your relationship with God, to lean into His promises, and to find peace in His guidance. When your faith is tested, it also refines your vision. It helps you see what truly matters and clarifies your priorities. Trials have a way of stripping away the distractions and bringing into focus what's most important. They help you realize what you're fighting for, what you're willing to sacrifice for, and what you're being prepared to achieve. This clarity is a gift, even if it comes wrapped in struggle. Lastly, tests of faith remind you of your strength. You discover a resilience within you that you might not have known existed. The very act of enduring the trial proves that you are capable of more than you imagined. You come out of the test not only stronger, but also more confident in your ability to face whatever comes next. That confidence, rooted in faith, becomes a powerful tool as you move forward. Faith is not meant to shield you from life's difficulties, it's meant to equip you to face them. The tests are not setbacks, they're setups for what's ahead. They prepare you, strengthen you, and align you with your purpose. So when your faith is tested, don't see it as a burden. See it as a blessing, a refining process that's shaping you into the person you were created to be. And remember, every test you endure is proof that something greater is on the horizon, waiting for you to step into it with unwavering resolve. Faith is not an escape from struggle, it is the anchor that holds you steady through it. Every trial, every closed door, and every moment of doubt is part of a greater process, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Life's challenges are not there to defeat you, they are there to refine you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for what lies ahead. They are the tests that fortify your resolve, the redirections that align you with your purpose, and the silence that builds within you the character needed to embrace your destiny. When doors close, they are not shutting you out, they are steering you toward paths you might not have chosen on your own. When seasons of struggle and isolation come, they are not meant to punish you, they are preparing you for something greater. These moments are not random or meaningless, they are intentional. They are the tools life uses to teach you resilience, humility, and patience. They challenge you to trust even when the way forward is unclear, and they push you to grow in ways you never thought possible. The breaking point you fear is not the end, it is the threshold of transformation. It is the moment when you are tested, stretched, and strengthened for the breakthrough that is coming. Struggles do not diminish you, they reveal you. They uncover the depth of your faith, the strength of your spirit, and the power of your perseverance. These challenges are not obstacles in your path, they are the steps that lead you closer to your purpose. Faith is not passive, it is active, requiring you to trust in the unseen, to believe in the possibility, and to keep moving forward even when you don't have all the answers. It asks you to hold on when you feel like giving up and to look beyond the immediate pain to the greater purpose. It is faith that transforms your trials into triumphs and your setbacks into setups for success. In the end, every closed door, every test of faith, and every season of silence is a part of the story being written for your life. These moments are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you into the person capable of carrying the blessings and responsibilities that come with your purpose. Trust that what you are going through today is equipping you for tomorrow. Believe that the struggles you face are refining you for something extraordinary. So stand firm in your faith. Let the trial shape you, the silence strengthen you, and the challenges prepare you. Trust the process even when it doesn't make sense. Know that the tests you endure today are laying the foundation for the breakthroughs of tomorrow. Keep moving forward, not with fear, but with faith, faith that every step, every struggle, and every moment is leading you to the life you were created to live. And when you look back, you'll see that every twist and turn, every door that closed, and every trial that tested you was worth it, because it brought you to the place where you truly belong. So if you're in that season right now, if you're waiting, struggling, wondering, hold on, don't give up. God is not just preparing the blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. And when it comes, it'll be bigger, better, and more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. Stay faithful, stay ready, and keep walking. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Thank you.